Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, may Allah grant all of us who are viewing this video many success in this life, and I pray that He grant us strength and the best of company as well for our sacrifices in the striving towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the best of reward in this life and in the hereafter. Ameen. Alhamdulillah. Inspired to talk about my niqab, wearing niqab, and how as a revert, I've been a revert for many years, went through my challenges and so forth, and Alhamdulillah overcome that. And the next step was wearing niqab for me. Well, Alhamdulillah, with the people who inspired me and to become Muslim or so. My best friend, we went to school together, and after she left high school, she started wearing niqab, and I was quite intrigued and inspired by the simplicity of it, the control of who sees what, and just the mere independence of it, Alhamdulillah. And her mom wore it as well, and then when I would go with them to Tawari and so forth, seeing many sisters and so come in veiled, and when they lifted that veil, oh subhanallah, mashallah, what beauty was revealed, Alhamdulillah. And I said to myself, wow, as a new revert and so forth, I hadn't any prejudice against that, But at the time, I wasn't thinking as, I would do that. I just appreciated it and accepted the way of it and so forth, Alhamdulillah. Well, as time went by and so forth, and whom Allah guides, no one can misguide, and seeking knowledge as a new Muslim, is something continuous, right? Even if you're a Muslim for years, reverted for years, you never stop learning, and you have to push yourself to seek that knowledge, Alhamdulillah, So me stepping out with my niqab. Well, first of all, I basically reside in Dominica, which is located in the Caribbean, the Leeward Islands. Alhamdulillah, very beautiful place. And they do have a population of Muslims. They have, say, three mosques, a matter of fact. The biggest one was in Portsmouth, the town Portsmouth. And then they recently established their own building for Roseau. So Alhamdulillah for that. And perhaps there's a population of Muslims, say about 300 and so. But, given that you do have that population, many of the locals are still ignorant in terms of knowing what Muslims do, right? And sometimes it's a crying shame, and it has to be sometimes blamed upon us Muslims not doing dawah as we should, but may Allah forgive us, and may Allah continue to guide us as Muslim Ummah to make it, much more out there to non-Muslims and so forth. So being in Dominica, Alhamdulillah, you do face the challenges after 9/11 and all of that ISIS nonsense and so forth. You don't even have to be wearing a niqab for somebody to shout out to say ISIS. So Alhamdulillah, I trust in Allah. Allah is the one that I fear. And yeah, that's my advice to anyone striving in the cause of Allah. Fear Allah and fear Allah alone. And so, I sew, and so I took some of my scarves and I sew myself a niqab. And I practice wearing the niqab, in the house, looking in the mirror, see what it looks like and that kind of stuff. Take a selfie, send to my husband, and so. And Alhamdulillah, I requested of my husband to that the day that I wanted to wear the niqab out, if he can escort me to go downtown, go in the various shops, places that I would normally brush shoulders with, and go with me. So Alhamdulillah, the day that I decided to do that, and so my husband accompanied me, and that was good. Like when I am with him, because he has this, this macho look, nobody would say anything, because you're with a male person, and so that went smoothly. Now, Dominica, the people speak a Creole dialect that is a mixture of French, right? And so some people, they see you, they don't speak the English, but they pass their insults in their dialect, right? So then now I started venturing into town, and so by myself, and yeah, you have persons, you stand at the corner. Alhamdulillah, I always go to town and I have my daughter with me. And there was this one instance, you stand on the corner and two women came up and they're like that, looking into my eyes. Well, Alhamdulillah, I am an outspoken person. I do think so. I don't get intimidated easily, so I stared back. And yeah, so the way I walk, and I would say exhibit confidence, to be proud of what it is that you're doing. If you exhibit any form of intimidation, like you're intimidated, that's when people generally would ride you. Like one person said to me, you're ISIS. Right, so I said to them, I said, what is ISIS? Who is ISIS? I myself don't know who is ISIS, right? And I just simply said, you know what? Stop listening to the nonsense that is betrayed on the media. If you do not understand a concept for yourself, do not exhibit it. Gain knowledge and then open your mouth to speak, because you sound quite foolish, and that's the kind of person I am in defending my niqab and so forth. And Alhamdulillah, on Dominica, we had first a Sister Fatima. She was the first and only niqabi in Dominica, and thumbs up, I asked Allah to grant her the best of reward, because she actually paved the way for us, other niqabis, and basically it was her, and then it had another sister, Michaelia, who is also a revert. She embraced the niqab, and so then me third, that embraced the niqab. And Alhamdulillah, we keep ourselves busy. We go to town, we get our daily commute on. So we're in everybody's face, you know, when we have to. And Alhamdulillah for that. So, you know, sometimes, yes, you may live in a community where you're just very much a minority in what it is that you're practicing, you know. And Alhamdulillah, as I said, keep striving in the way of Allah, fear Allah, and that is where you gain your strength. And every time you go out, ask Allah to bless you with the best of company and so forth. Make that dua. And Alhamdulillah, every time you go out, and even if somebody tries to make a derogative statement or ridicule or so forth, Alhamdulillah, out of the blue, somebody who is not even a Muslim or so defends you, you know. So Alhamdulillah for that. And so yeah, that was my niqabi story. I've been a niqabi for say 2+ years now, Alhamdulillah, and I love it, you know, and it makes me feel quite independent of my choices, you know. As a woman, I wasn't forced to do this. I like people would think that, you know, in Islam the women are forced to wear this or be totally submissive and stuff like that. No. This was a decision of mine, and Alhamdulillah, the best decision of mine, and I'm very proud of myself, and I'm overjoyed to see many niqabis, reverts, embrace the niqab and so forth. May Allah guide the born Muslims to practice Islam the way that they should practice, and not portray to non-Muslims that this is a cultural thing. It's not. You do check in the Quran, and there are evidence there for the women. If you are away from your mahram, you should veil yourself. And so, you know, say that you haven't reached that understanding, but do not contradict and say, well, okay, or interject or ridicule what is sunnah and what is prescribed, you know. So Alhamdulillah, yeah. So I hope that I haven't made this video too long, and I want to give a shout out to the Scottish revert teacher. Alhamdulillah, I recently subscribed to you. I'm Sakina, and so Alhamdulillah, I'm enjoying your videos, and they're all on point. So may Allah reward all of the sisters who are striving the way of the Sunnah way, Alhamdulillah, and for those who are still not striving in the way that the Sunnah prescribes, may Allah grant you the best of guidance and knowledge. Ameen. So, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.